Alright guys, welcome to another edition of the Anything Wrestling Podcast. We are back here today. Once again, we got a triple threat going. It is the Shant, Dan the Man, and the Commish.
Oh, here we go.
Excuse me.
We're back.
My name is The Commish, and I will be the advocate of this episode. And today's episode, which is finally going to be put on the table,
Is brought to you by the WWE Network, which you can get for a non-negotiable but reasonable price of only $9.99. Speaking of the network, one of the hottest things to go on the network is the recent rivalry between Charlotte and my girl, Becky Lynch.
not gonna lie, that's a good theme song. That's a good intro.
That's a fucking episode we should have at some point too.
Theme
because,
songs.
Man,
done.
You're right. That's one of my favorite themes going on right now. I've always felt like you got to have that big punch at the beginning, and that gets everybody hyped. But anyway, Becky Lynch, Charlotte, but mostly Becky Lynch.
Let's just say,
I feel like this is a 2-on-1 right now.
is it Dan? Are you like the neutral guy, or because I think
I don't know. We'll have to see halfway through.
Can I say this?
Let's just start as a handicap match.
Can I
Go
say
ahead.
this? God, fine. Just because, if we can recover back to SummerSlam.
I'll be the special referee, and we'll see if I turn.
well, he's a special guest referee, and we usually know how that works out.
There's always a chair involved somehow. Let's take it back to SummerSlam 2018.
Let's take it back to SummerSlam.
Which...
Worst night of my life.
Yes, according to Shant, the worst night of his life. Why? Because of so many things that went bad, so many things that got booked wrong.
Here's the thing.
One in particular that he will not get off my case for. Damn it.
Let me just throw this out there. When the pay-per-view began, the Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler match was great.
And then it all went downhill for him.
All went down.
Here's the thing. Alexa Bliss getting beat by Ronda, we knew it was coming.
And it was annoying as hell to see.
Yes, it is. Roman becoming Universal Champion, we saw it coming. We were actually begging for it because I was like, let's just do it, get it over with, so we can stop this feud.
Seriously.
Caramel versus our girl Becky Lynch versus Charlotte.
Woo! What? Okay. On record, I never said I wasn't a fan of Becky's. I just happen to be a fan of Charlotte's. Just as equally as I am a fan of Becky's. But Carmella, though. The only thing I like right now with Carmella is what she's doing with R-Truth. That whole angle is just funny as hell right now.
Yes.
But let's get to the triple threat.
Well, before we get to the triple threat, I think the reason why Becky has always won me over, no matter what. But I think that right before SummerSlam, she was building up this momentum where she was racking up win after win after win, and her promos were on point. And I was like, okay, poor thing got screwed at Money in the Bank last year, and then she didn't win at Mania, so she's had all these shortcomings. We want to see Becky as a champion. And I don't know if it was you or someone else where it was like, oh, she's going to turn heel. I was like, that is really the wrong thing to do because she is not only a babyface, she's a red-hot babyface. If
Something that we haven't seen in a while in any booking lately.
Yes. If someone is babyface, you can turn them, no problem. But when someone is red-hot babyface, good luck because the fans are not going to buy
Because
into
you got to
it.
cool them down first.
Exactly. Straight fire. But yeah, so then Charlotte, she was absent. I don't really know why. And then she came back. She comes back and Paige goes, if you can win your match tonight, you can be added to the SummerSlam match. So then, of course, she wins, and then she gets added to the SummerSlam match. And here we are. We can see that there's something going on between Becky and Charlotte.
That's the first seed planted
into the storyline. And then we get to SummerSlam, and we are all anxiously watching. And when Becky had to disarm her, we all knew it was coming. Natural selection from behind. Nothing natural about it, really. Natural selection.
Oh my God.
1, 2, 3.
They get up, they hug, they talk to each other a little bit, they hug, and then,
Boom.
Straight fire
Slap.
to the face.
So let's just get this out. Shant didn't get what he wanted when Charlotte won the belt back.
Or the rest of the night.
We're just talking about this particular situation. But yeah, the rest of the night either.
Shant was left unsatisfied.
I was not all in.
$9.99.
No, that's
Not that.
No,
That you
that
got-
one. No,
that-
no. You will not find all in. Do not subscribe for all in.
But if you are a fan of All In, you can find it somewhere on the internet.
Online for a low price of nothing.
Free.
Anyways. So this. So not only is Sean angry that the belt goes back to the rightful hands of the champion, but
Sorry, I
what? No.
Bad
go
case
ahead.
of suffer and succotash?
choked on that bullshit. Go ahead, finish your thought.
It is
I'll get
clearly-
my piece in at some point.
So the guest referee is about to hit me with a chair, just because I stated that the belt went back to the right
Hey
hands.
man, you took it to the count of 4. I had to back you off.
See, that's the problem when it says it went back to the right hands.
Okay, why is it a problem, Sean?
Well, why is it the right hands?
Because you were upset that it didn't get booked your way for Becky to finally have the belt
But
back.
see, it's not my way.
I know it's not your way. It's McMahon's way.
Or the highway?
Ah,
The hell. It's back in her hands because this builds on something great between these two. Because what happened after SummerSlam for the next, what? How long has it been since SummerSlam? 3 weeks?
3 weeks,
Almost a month now?
yeah.
thankfully.
We've been getting nothing other than what we've been getting great from SmackDown already. I think one of the greatest female competitive rivalries we haven't had in a while.
The most relevant feud right now.
Yeah.
Put the 6-man tag team thing with Shield and Drew and Dolphin.
That's Raw and whatever else.
I just
they're
mean,
doing
I know
there.
I'm talking like overall. Put that second. I think number one right now that's got me hooked, where I'm like, what are they going to do next is Becky and Charlotte.
Yeah. And not only do we see Becky come out and start attacking Charlotte after her match, she's cutting like possibly the best promos any woman entertainer has cut in a while.
So I, much like Shant, was disappointed with the way that the match ended at the pay-per-view. I wanted Becky to win, much for the same reasons Shant's been drafting out, the
Constantly telling me.
unevenness of the title reigns. Now, this is a contrived company, not a company, it's a contrived business where
Thank you.
everything is predetermined. So why the fuck does Charlotte have 7 more reigns than Becky does? Becky, who was your first ever SmackDown Women's Champion, has not seen that belt in 3 years?
It's
2 years.
called
2 years in a
the
while.
build-up.
That's a slow ass build. I've heard of slow build, but this is ridiculous. Anyway, but once the turn or the twist or the slight adjustment on her feet occurred, I was okay with it.
So here's my thing, is that I'm not going to shy away from the fact that this has been a brilliant feud. Actually, like I said, the most relevant thing for me personally right now going on. I just don't like the fact that Charlotte is great. She can carry her own. Doesn't matter if she is Ric Flair's daughter. But that's just the thing, is that she goes on record of saying, I don't want to be like my father. I don't want to be in his shadow. Woman, you've got a remix of his theme song. You've got his rope. You've got
His
a modified
name.
version of his finisher. You've got his woo.
And his name.
And his name. And that's the thing. That's what gets to me is
Is that
that...
what kills you about this?
And half
Exactly.
of half of his title reigns.
Yes. While people like Becky, the poor thing, it's like time after time she delivers and she's got the gimmick and she's a great person and she knows how to have fun and whatnot and be interactive and be,
Now, granted, Becky lost me occasionally on some promos. She hasn't always been great at delivering promos, but this has been solid.
Right now, she's doing great.
right now she's
Look,
skyrocketing.
She
to the top.
needs to calm her tongue down, though.
Okay, so
I
here's
don't know
the
if
thing.
you guys noticed this, but she does. I've noticed I have problems with this as an actor too, where a lot of times if I'm irritated, my default is to just run my tongue along my teeth and be like, and I do the irritated like licking. And if you watch that promo, I've watched that promo 8 times.
Which one?
The most recent one where they're
The
side by
interview?
side.
Yeah.
I watched that promo 8 times. If you watch, she does the teeth licking a lot. And I don't have a problem with it because she's not
But I think what it is with
an
her-
actor, but
For the record, I think she has had some acting classes.
that's fine.
She did say that.
Okay.
But her focus still isn't acting, so I don't blame her for that being a habit she
Yeah.
hasn't kicked.
Okay, so granted that I'm on the side of Charlotte, I will say this about Becky. Right now, what you got with her is as much as people, or as SmackDown's trying to sell it, that she's supposed to be the heel of this one-on-one interaction, it's not being sold like that right now. It's being sold as like, you're the anti-hero.
Yes.
We're going to cheer you on regardless because we've been wanting what you guys want. We want her to have her belt back. We want her to reign to be a lot longer this time around. We want her, just to be the face of the SmackDown Women's Championship, which is fine. I never said that it shouldn't happen. I'm just saying right now, you're going to get something great with just these two. Granted, there still is talent on SmackDown's women's roster. It's just, to me, this is the best build-up as far as the main event for these two. And especially since right now, this whole year, I don't know if you guys have noticed, it's been more of a push for the entire women's roster, period, in the WWE, which is great, which is something that should have been done way before, but it seems like in 2018 we're now advocating a lot more for women and women's wrestlers and women all throughout the world.
Yeah.
I like where this is going, and my question to you, and I want you to really, like, bullshit aside, answer it. If you can be serious for a moment, if the title doesn't change at Hell in a Cell between these two, would you let it change at Evolution in October? Would you really wait that long for it?
If it gets booked correctly, yes.
How would you book it then? Like, be honest
You
with
can't
me.
have Charlotte go over clean.
Exactly.
But
Like, I'm not saying
make
I'm
Charlotte
not saying
dirtier.
She needs to cheat. I'm saying something
Yeah,
needs to
let her
Don't
go. Let her. Okay.
Don't
so-
even complete the match. Let it be a no contest.
Yeah.
I was going to
Or-
say,
or-
before you continue, one thing that I would change, take it from a normal match to a Hell in a Cell match. Because in Hell in a Cell matches, it always has to be like the grudge match. Like, okay, the structure is for you to settle your score. You guys couldn't do it in a regular match. Here's a cage, no interference, go at it. Be as nasty as you want to be, but put it to an end. But I think if you put it inside Hell in a Cell, it comes out to a no contest. One of those deals where they get through the door and they're fighting outside and something dramatic happens. I think you can't have a decisive conclusion, especially with Charlotte winning. Because then it's like, oh, you screwed me at SummerSlam and you talked about how you've been screwed over, and then I beat you at Hell in a Cell. Okay, next feud. You need to have an indecisive end. And I think that if you do it in Hell in a Cell, because you can have Becky be that nasty, woman's wrestler, as opposed to one-on-one match. Go.
So you would want Becky to release all her anger and like
You need to show
built up frustration on Charlotte.
not a heel nasty side, but an anti-hero nasty side.
Okay. My thing with that, which is fine to book it that way. So my thing with this is just that I would want these two to really just, you know what? Even if it's a Hell in a Cell, I would say don't give them the cage. Don't put them in the Hell in a Cell yet. Have it be like one of those matches where it is no contest though. Like, granted, you could push it a little bit extreme.
Oh yeah, all the titles have to be on the line.
On what?
But
On Evolution, that was one of their billing points, is that the Raw, SmackDown, and NXT women's titles will be on the line. So yeah, they could push this match. They could push these two to Evolution.
so far they've had a proper booking. So I'm like, you know what? I trust SmackDown. They're doing a great job. Go into the Evolution.
I'm okay with it. I think Becky should go over at Evolution, and I think she should run dominant for a minute. I think she needs to have a solid run when she gets this belt back.
That kind of scares me too. Is that I don't want this to be a flash in the pan where people go, remember how great she was doing, and then all of a sudden she went into obscurity, because that's been happening to literally everyone. I'm not even singling out women or guys. It's been happening to everyone.
And it's not fair. But the thing is, right now, the only title reigns that are looking legitimately like great to me is everything on SmackDown. From the tag championships to the WWE championship. And unfortunately, because you don't like where the women's belt is on Charlotte's waist right now.
For the record, I am a Charlotte fan.
Now, real quick, playing devil's advocate. You're the advocate for the podcast. I'm going to be devil's advocate of this argument.
But I like that game.
But
I will be the advocate of the advocate.
I think the biggest reason I was really mad about Charlotte winning was because we didn't have the inkling, really, that we were going to get what we were going to get out of Becky. Well, what we've gotten from Becky.
Okay.
With the inconsistency of the booking, with the fact that I feel like we don't really trust WWE fully.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, even with the rumblings, oh, Becky might turn heel, you kind of go, great, then what? But it's been real good.
Yeah.
So not knowing that it was going to turn into what it's been so far, I think is what is like, Becky should have just won, she should have just been a face, da, 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 da. Given what we've had happen, I am okay with Charlotte being champion right now. I wanted Becky to win, but I am okay with what has come out of this at this point.
And this is my thing with, like, okay, say you put the belt on Becky at SummerSlam. Even though the angle was to kind of make her a heel. At that point, you put the belt back on Becky. She's your red hot baby face still. She's going to go over. People are going to love her at that point. But who are we
kidding? If we had done that, she'd lose the belt in Hell in a Cell.
Then that's my thing. Like, you have someone that is selling it for the women's roster right now so well that if you were to put the belt on her at SummerSlam, it wouldn't be a good sell. And then you get a shitty result at Hell in a Cell. And on top of that,
that's what I'm in agreement with.
You still have Carmella luring around like, I still want my rematch. I still want my belt back. I think I still belong in this. And it's like, you guys are doing so well writing out everybody in SmackDown that everybody within less than 2 hours gets their promos, their matches, and the show looks amazing.
Take note, Monday Night Raw.
Exactly.
I was going to ask you guys this. Do you guys think that this Becky and Charlotte thing has been like weeks in the making? Like they're like, okay, we're going to do this first, and then we're going to do this. Or has it been, we'll do this. Oh, that worked? Okay, now let's do this. We might do that. We might do
You
that.
want to take this one first?
I think they were building to it. I think they were building to the
It
heel
shows.
turn.
That's the thing. It shows. You see a clear difference between the two brands.
Because they painted this picture of triumphant Becky, of, oh, it's her time, and then they shoehorn in Charlotte, and you go, this fucking bitch is going to come in here and ruin everything. And she did. But I think from here you have to have the non-conclusive finish at Hell in a Cell. You go to Super Showdown. I don't think they're going to do a title match. So at Evolution, I think you have these two face again, and that's where Becky goes over. And then I think Carmella probably gets a rematch after that. That's her next storyline. Yeah.
But I think Carmella is doing great with R-Truth. So if you can have like a mixed, tag team angle going on with them, I think that they bounce off of one another.
Well, I think.
You do have a mixed match challenge coming up, though. So
Oh my God, I can't wait for
That,
that.
that's how you build it. That's exactly how you build it. Dan, you should be a writer.
I should be a writer.
For the
If,
WWE.
if only somebody would hit me up, Stephanie.
What's your number?
I'll put it in the link below.
Anyways, I think personally what.
Just ask CM Punk. I think he has Stephanie's number.
Oh.
Yikes. I think here's the thing though, from like Hell in a Cell to Evolution, you need more than just promos at that
Absolutely.
point. You really need what you said, a no contest result at Hell in a Cell to make this fire just massively grow even further between these two. You need to at one point have them have individual matches, interfere in their matches, you really have to push this. And I think SmackDown right now has the ability to make this grow, and I hope they do, because honestly, if we get Becky to win the belt at Evolution finally, get her belt back to where it belongs, write it out with her. Write it out. Whether you bring Carmella back or bring Asuka back, bring whoever is worthy to face Becky at this point, or who hasn't had a push yet.
Would you guys be a fan? Let's say Becky wins the title at Evolution. We get to TLC. The final.
So you're going all the way
match.
to December.
The final grudge match. Becky Lynch versus Charlotte. Title is suspended in a TLC match.
So it's not a ladder match. It's a complete TLC match.
TLC match.
Jesus, they'd kill each other.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Come on, tell me you would not be a fan of that idea.
You want to take this one? Because honestly, it's kind of hard for me to decide on this.
I wouldn't mind. I'd be okay seeing these two in a TLC match with the belt over the ring.
I'm not for this. I think it's a great idea. It's just, again, you really have to put this like this is a go. Like you need this booking to like really like bring the best out of both of them. And I think because of this, you still keep Becky as an anti-hero. Charlotte has to be a complete heel at this point. She has to have a full turn. And that's the way it would last. Because honestly, like, when you've had, back in the day when Stone Cold was the anti-hero, you had, like, The Undertaker do a heel turn. Something you would never think you would see out of The Undertaker. And he sold it with Austin for months. And it worked. This needs to work with these two women. Because honestly, right now, other than, like, you know, the New Day and their rivalries with so many tag teams right now and who's going to come up and face them. And then with AJ Styles and Samoa Joe and how long they're going to take it, which is going good as well. These two women alone need to carry this on if you're going to have that at TLC. It has to go right. There has to be a lot to make this work. And you have to have a heel turn. Not for Becky, but to Charlotte. To really make this TLC match like go down as like the best thing.
Because then you have anger versus anger, and it really feeds into the intensity of the match.
Yeah.
Well, I think you said it before, is that for the last 3 or 4 months, SmackDown has had a really good track record, and I think to date it's been a long time since a brand has been consistent with the booking. This has been the longest consistency of booking that I can recall in
a while.
in a long time. And it's not only one feud; they're focusing on everything they got. You know, the Daniel Bryan and Miz feud, Samoa Joe and AJ, Charlotte and Becky, New Day and whoever they're feuding with. They're focusing on everything.
New Day has so many rivals.
Yeah, it's Sanity, it's the Usos,
It's the Bar.
It's the Bar. It's like,
not to say that I wouldn't want to see the Bar win it, but if you can bring the Usos into this as well, because the Usos have been doing so well as heels.
the Usos, man, they own it. They own it.
Oh man, like what can you not say that isn't going great on SmackDown? Like, point one thing, like right now. Nothing.
I'm good with most of it. Yeah.
Now say what's going on wrong with Raw.
Well,
Let's get into this real quick. See how bad of a joke that is? Raw, what are you doing?
where's the list?
Why can't you get your shit together? I didn't do that at all last episode.
Commish, where's the list?
I don't know how he got it back. The Shockmaster just... It's buried in the garden
He
again.
Snuck in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if we had to think back, I think we got pretty far in the list. Do you happen to remember what move 494 was?
494. I think it was the arm bar.
Okay, what was move 999?
Oh, that...
Even your phone knows. You can subscribe and catch all your favorite WWE programming only on the WWE Network for a non-negotiable but reasonable price of only $9.99.
Slam.
$9.99?
$9.99. It's not $10.
It's $9.99. Slam.
What?
That's the name of the move.
The $9.99 slam.
The $9.99 slam?
No. Everything you just said, slam.
Oh,
That's a long move. Good luck.
Oh, it's move number 999.
we're rewriting the list in real time.
Good luck, Michael Cole, saying that on TV.
Followed up by move number 1000. The armbar.
By the way, Alexa Bliss's armbar is way better than Ronda's.
Oh, he said it.
If you don't believe me, go look at the poll. Oh no, wait, everyone voted for Ronda.
Because they're
No,
cheap.
I voted for the counterpart.
He's right. They're all sheep.
Follow the buzzards.
Anyways,
Only on WWE Network.
so is this a wrap up on this?
You
feud?
tell me.
Okay.
Not only is it a wrap on that feud, is it a wrap on this feud?
Are we
Is it
putting
all
it
out
to
on
bed?
the table? Is it put to rest?
Are you counting to 3, Dan?
1, 2, 3. So, yeah, I guess that puts that to bed.
Alright.
But I just have one last thing to say, and I think I'll let Becky Lynch herself say it.
Shine that title up real nice for me, Charlotte, because after Hell in a Cell, you're never going to see it again.